and using that ERS to just get alongside Alonso and then send it down the inside, managed to hold the inside line in lap 3, getting real close to Ocon, managed to get the slipstream alongside him now, managed to drag ourselves past them, holding the inside line, coming to the chicane, managed to make it through lap 8. Again, out of those sequence of corners, that chicane, got better drive onto the grass with ERS, managed to get alongside and down the inside, managed to get past Russell. Hello everyone, welcome back to F1 22. Yeah, I've had a bit of a hiatus since the last episode of this particular series. I recently uploaded a brand new episode on the SnowRunner series, which sort of explained why I've been away for a little bit. I've been away for the past month really, but TLDR really is just I've been busy with work, traveling a fair bit, and I also recently got a dog. So it's all been happening for me, and it's been taking up a little bit more of my time and energy as well. But I'm slowly getting back into making videos, and we're back here today on F1 22. But before we go any further, bit of story time. So recently a patch was was released for this game, patch 1.10. If you're watching this and you play F1 22, you will know what I am talking about. After I installed the latest patch, this happened. Yeah, I cannot believe of all the things this patch could have done. It bricked my game and, corrupted the save game, and I was fuming. And especially because I was so self-conscious of the fact that I haven't posted a video in a very long time, or at least what I consider a very long time. So, I wanted to get back into it. So I had to cop it, and I started a brand new, My Team career. But I did go back and have a look at the previous 2 episodes we did, and I basically tried to recreate every single step that we did in those episodes, basically. So there's been some little changes here and there, but for the most part, it should be basically the same. Just to give you guys an example, the first race, we qualified 7th, I believe. I qualified better this time around, but I purposefully finished 4th, just like we did in the first episode. So I purposefully finished 4th in that in the first race, and then I purposefully in the second race, again, just like in the second episode, I purposefully finished 7th. So and funnily enough, in that second race, which is in Jeddah, when I did it this second time around, I was actually leading the race. I was far ahead of the rest of the AI drivers, and pretty much towards the end, once I was a bit more in a comfortable position, I basically slowed down, let everyone pass me until I got into 7th, and I finished the race in 7th on purpose, just to, get it as close as possible to where we left off in the previous episode. And so today we will be continuing on and on to the next Grand Prix. And if you enjoy this sort of content, please do hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, please do consider subscribing. I would very much appreciate it. And with that all said and done, let's jump right on into it. All right, so here we are. Next Grand Prix coming up is the Australian Grand Prix. Obviously, a little bit behind schedule and definitely out of sync with the actual Formula One calendar. And as I did say, a few things here and there might be a little bit different from where we left off in the previous episode. Obviously, we have a new teammate. We had, I believe, Marcus Armstrong in episode 2. Well, we started off with Marcus Armstrong previously, and with this new save, Marcus Armstrong wasn't available. In fact, a lot of things have changed with the career, just little things. And this time we have we have Ralph Boschung. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. And other little things sort of changed here and there. I believe we failed our first development. I believe if we go to our R&D in progress, we actually failed the central under tray first time around. So that was really interesting. So we had to run it again, and it should hopefully be ready for us come 2nd of April. That is in the game, that is, and which we will definitely meet before we have to go into the Australian Grand Prix. So either way, we should be okay, pretty much in line with where we were in the previous episode. But yeah, let's go ahead, hit advanced time, and move on to central under tray. Yes, I did forget to run team activities, didn't I?
We're in a position now where we're able to
That's all right.
appoint a new sponsor to the team. Head on over to the corporate tab and select the sponsor screen to choose who we should approach.
Real quick before we do that, no activities available. I forgot to add the activities. In my haste, I forgot to run the activities. That's okay. So it looks like we have the opportunity to do another Pirelli hot lap. We might just do drift again. Why not? Let's go ahead and do a little bit of drifting. McLaren 720S. Let's go drifting. All right, so this is this is definitely going to be interesting. It's raining here in Australia, at least in game, that is. So it'll definitely make it a little bit interesting when we go to do a little bit of drifting here. Yeah, safe to say this didn't go exactly according to plan. Oh, nope, definitely not going to work there. Oh, whoops. Whoa. Ah, man, this is not going well. Oh, this is not gonna work. Hang on. We're gonna run this again. We lost it there. We lost it. Hang on. Oh, man. We gotta be able to do this. Hit the wall there. That's a bit annoying. Oh, man. Man. We're timed as well. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. Wow, all this time I thought we only had one lap. I guess we had more. Chase, you idiot, you absolute numpty. Oh man, that's all right. I thought this whole time we had only one lap to do this. I didn't realize it was a timed event, meaning you had a certain amount of time to do it and you could do as many laps as you want. Should we try and do it? I don't know. I think we wasted enough time trying to get there. That's all right. Now, if we come to another drift event, we'll know now for future drift events. So let's just go ahead and advance. I'm pretty happy with silver. Yeah. Oh well. Oh man. All right, it is time for the race weekend. That is it. That is right. The Australian Grand Prix has descended upon us over at Albert Park Circuit. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it. All right, so here we go. One shot qualifying. I skipped all the practice program stuff, at least for the video. I did do it just off screen, but basically, yeah, because you guys have seen that by now. So you basically familiar with how the practice programs work. You complete all these different challenges basically within the 3 practice sessions, and you get development boosts. So you guys will be familiar with that. So we jumped straight into qualifying. Sunny weather, 25 degrees on the track, air temperature 17 degrees, and expecting sunny weather for the race as well. That's something I always forget to check in multiplayer races. So yeah, for now, let's go ahead, jump into one shot qualifying here at the Albert Park Circuit. Let's go through our setup. Going with soft tires, of course. And this is sort of the setup that I'm going with. Now, I can't really remember how well it performed because honestly, it really depends on the difficulty of the AI, which for this particular save, this is a new save, remember, so it's still medium, but this time I increased it a little bit more. I believe we started out at 50 in the old save, and now I've set it at 55, which is actually the midpoint between the lowest and the highest difficulty. So hopefully it's enough of a challenge, but so far I found, particularly in qualifying, we tend to be faster compared to the AI drivers. So we'll see how it goes. Like I've said previously, I definitely don't want it to be a cakewalk where every single race we just qualify, pole, and then we finish the race first. Now, I want there to be a little bit of a challenge. And from what I can see, I don't think I could change the difficulty. after the fact, that is. So hopefully we can hopefully I can figure out how to do that if that option is available. But anyways, let's jump onto the track, shall we? Go ahead, start off with the flying lap. Here we go. All right, so main straight across the finish line, start our lap, coming up to lap turn number 1, down to 4th gear, understeered there, tiptoeing around that curb. Leclerc is in front of us now, currently P18. That was a terrible turn 1. 2nd gear, I forgot to turn off the racing line as well. I've set it to full. I don't normally race with the full racing line, but that's purely just for the practice program, because some of the practice programs require you to be within 2 meters of the racing line in order to gain some of the development boosts. We're P1. Whoa, okay, we gained some time there. That's interesting. Oh, I'm definitely no professional esports driver or any, professional driver in any sense whatsoever, so definitely don't judge me for that. Coming around, oh, this is that new corner that they added. Coming up to, I think this is second to last corner. Here we go. 2nd gear, very slow. Have to upshift to manage the wheel spin. DRS. I think Leclerc's gonna beat us out on this one. And across the line, where did we end up? I think it was P3. Did we stay P3? Yes. Okay. Not too bad, not too shabby. Again, I want a bit of a challenge. I don't want to go, I don't want to be winning every single qualifying. Again, not that I'm a professional in any sense, so.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Leclerc, Sainz, and the owner driver. With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that overall. All things considered, again, I'm by no means a professional esports F1 driver, no way professional sim race driver. I'd like to be, maybe even in real life. I would love to race cars, love to be a race car driver. That'd be awesome. But yeah, definitely could have done better. That first turn I understeered and definitely missed my braking point. Again, I've left the racing line on. I completely forgot to turn it off because yeah, I left that on purely just for the practice program. So anyways, with all of that said and done, let's move on to the main event, and that is the Grand Prix. So I will catch you guys on the grid.
The crowd are here and it's brilliant to see them lining the track here in Albert Park. It's going to be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome everybody to the Australian Grand Prix. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. It's a combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners, making it a very tricky track when it comes to overtaking. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have the owner driver, Russell, Max Verstappen, and Hamilton, Perez, Ocon, Ricciardo, and Fernando Alonso, Norris, Bottas, Pierre Gasly, and Mick Schumacher, Joe, Vettel, Yuki Tsunoda, and Kevin Magnussen, Albon, Stroll, Boschung, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Natalie Binkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
know this is your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Let's not make any unnecessary risks.
Pretty excited for this. As you can see, we're lined up on the grid now. Just going through our setup again, haven't really changed that much. Did increase the toe-in a little bit because I was experiencing a bit of understeer throughout qualifying. Of course, dropping down our tire pressures because I believe, yeah, a few updates back, the way the tire pressure mechanics worked had been changed. So for example, if you had higher tire pressures, your tires actually overheated a lot quicker than they did when the game came out initially. And a new, I suppose, yeah, an addition to the series now, courtesy of this brand new save, is the inclusion of the formation lap. So I thought, it might be interesting to include the formation lap, and it adds a bit more sort of immersiveness into the whole series itself. Again, I'm doing this as a voiceover style. I'm having trouble in terms of concentrating on the race and speaking at the same time. So maybe that's something I will eventually and slowly incorporate into the series as time goes on, and something that I practice as we sort of fast forward to the end of the formation lap and got a little bit too keen with the throttle and whipped the back end around. Russell passed us, but that's okay. It's a formation lap, so try to catch up, make up that spot. And trying to recreate a little bit of what F1 drivers do in real life, which is they start off to the side of their grid box, and then they move over into the side where the grid box is, as we light up our tires a little bit as well, just to get that last bit of heat, as we're all lined up now, ready, waiting for the rest of the grid to get into their appropriate positions, waiting for those for those 5 lights basically. And just waiting, and here we go for 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, first gear, and away we go. Lights out, and it's racing here at Albert Park circuit. Bit of wheel spin, and we get absolutely swallowed by a bit of the top field. Who was that? Hamilton getting a little bit out of shape coming out of the first corner, but now we got Perez as well chasing us coming down the left-hand side, and we managed to hold our line down the inside. These corners very tricky. If you don't upshift in time, the turbo just kicks in. That wheel spin is just absolutely deadly, and you end up spinning around. Turn 5 just then as well. Most notably, in previous games you could just take it flat out, but not in this game anymore. I'm not sure if that's just a characteristic of just how understeery these cars are just in the game and in real life compared to the previous generation of cars, as Perez managed to get that slipstream off us and get around us, which is a bit of a shame. Down to P7, started P3, and we've lost four positions at the moment, but it's not over. We're just chasing down Perez, trying to use our ERS, dart over to the right hand side at the very last moment, cock that up absolutely dog's breakfast of that corner. I was getting too keen, lost a couple more positions. Ocon, Alonso, the boys in Alpine managing to pass us, and now we're getting absolutely hounded by Lando and Ricciardo as well in in those McLarens, which, yeah, they haven't been performing the best, but sometimes they do perform all right. Still very much a midfield team, I would say, as we fast forward lap 2, getting very close to Alonso now, getting in his slipstream. We've got a purple first sector, and coming out of this particular corner, managed to get absolutely really good drive and using that ERS to just get alongside Alonso and then send it down the inside, managed to hold the inside line and muscle our way around that corner, push Alonso out wide as we understeer around that corner. Again, I don't know whether it's just maybe our setup was just making me understeer, or whether perhaps it's just a characteristic of doing the My Team career where you start out with not the best car, so your car doesn't perform the best. As fast forward lap 3, getting real close to Ocon, managed to get the slipstream alongside him now, managed to drag ourselves past him, holding the inside line, coming to this chicane, managed to make it through. It's really a game of chicken in that particular sequence of corners, because it's about who's going to back out at the very last moment to take that corner. This corner right here, absolutely brand new to the circuit this year. Basically a 90-degree angle at that point. managed to get a little bit of a better line through that particular corner. Coming to the second last corner, I found myself absolutely tiptoeing through the second last and last corners because, again, I'm not sure whether it's our setup, but it just felt so unstable as we clocked the fastest lap, a 1 minute 23.7. And as you could have seen just then, Leclerc off the track. Absolute disaster for Ferrari, as you guys will see, which brings out the safety car. Unbelievable for Ferrari. I think episode 1, Leclerc again, absolutely, there was a very, very bad race for them in Bahrain. Leclerc out of the session in that particular race, and now again here in Australia, again went off the track as we get the option to pit early this time. I believe our strategy was to pit in lap 5 or 6, but considering it's the safety car, we will take this pit stop, go on to the mediums, and basically manage our race from therein. Nail the pit stop, purple there, and managed to get it within the 2.2 to 2.5 second range. And I think we made up a spot as well within the pit lane. I can't quite remember what the run-in order was there before we pulled into the pit lane. And now, it's just putting on those mediums and getting some heat into them as we slot in behind Ocon. Now, I was a bit scared because this radio message came through.
Okay, we had an issue removing the left rear wheel. I know it's not ideal, but let's try and put it behind us and finish the race strong. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Now, to me, for some reason, I took that as that we'd have to come back into the pit lane to fix a loose wheel or something. That's what I thought, but turns out it was just they just had trouble putting the wheel on, so it just increased our pit, the time in the pit and the pit stop itself. So that's what that's what it meant. Breathe a sigh of relief as we skip forward to lap 6. Absolutely menacing Ocon here, but safety car is coming in and just tiptoeing around these corners, trying to make sure don't make a dog's breakfast of this restart. Wasn't the best restart as Ocon, Russell, I think Verstappen, Sainz, they just take off. And we're down the main straight, no man's land, weaving back and forth, trying to get some heat into these tires. Again, tiptoeing around turn 1, turn 2, 7th gear, just again trying to get some heat into the tires, trying to get real close to Ocon here now. As we fast forward to the second half of this lap, again, coming out of this chicane, get really good drive. For some reason, we seem to be getting really good drive out of that second part of the chicane as we get alongside Ocon, ascending down the inside, hold our line and manage to dispatch him. And now it's just chasing Russell in that Mercedes. He has been performing quite well in real life as well as in the game as well. So just trying to manage our tires and try and just drag ourselves up to him as best as we can. I'm not the fastest driver, whether it's in multiplayer or even in the My Team career. It's absolutely just, it was a bit of a mission to catch up to these guys in front of us because they had absolute monstrous speed. As we fast forward lap 8, again out of those sequence of corners, that chicane, got better drive onto the grass with ERS, managed to get alongside and down the inside, managed to get past Russell. Absolute ludicrous. Now we are in the top 3, back up to our starting position, which is really good. We have a shot for a podium here now because Russell wasn't finished with us. He was really getting close in that second last corner, but as we come around last corner onto the main straight, it looked like Russell was starting to fall back a bit. But you can see in the timing, he was gaining a little bit, ever so slightly, but we managed to increase our margin to him a fair bit as we now chase down the top 2 runners, Sainz and Verstappen, P1, P2 respectively. Those Ferraris and Red Bulls, they got absolute crazy power and speed in them. It is gonna be so much sweat and so much effort to catch up to them, as we are still lap 9 down the back. I guess you could call it a back straight. It's really not that much of a straight. It's a very long curve coming up to these this chicane. As I'm flicking through, having a look at our tires, 17% now. You can see here I have our, our engine or car component percentage screen up, or the health of each component. And yeah, I was starting to get a little bit concerned at this point about the gearbox in particular, and you will see I think pretty much towards the end of this race I was basically just short shifting the entire way, because it's only been, this is our third race and already at around 50% use of our gearbox, our first ever gearbox, and I believe we only get about 3 or 4 gearboxes. So we have 22 races to do, 22 episodes. We gotta make sure that we make these gearboxes last. I've been absolutely pounding and hammering these gearboxes out, just as you can see, as we skip forward, getting so close to Verstappen now, and still so nervous, because we've been just chasing Sainz and Verstappen for the last couple of laps, and it's just been an absolute slog. And I'm trying to manage these tires as we manage to get DRS and skip forward to lap 11. We get so close to Verstappen now, getting his slipstream out of turn 5, and then bang, he locks up his brakes and goes off. But we will take advantage of that, and P2 now as we chase down Sainz in that very fast Ferrari. As you can see, our gearbox health has kicked up to just over 50%, and yeah, I'm really sweating at this point, and we're getting really close to Sainz again. We're getting better drive out of that exit of the chicane. This 90-degree angle corner, again, I was really struggling with putting down the power, but it was this entire race was just an absolute slog. I was very much excited, because now we're in top 2, absolute chance in potentially getting not just a podium but a win, a home win. That would be absolutely awesome. Word of the day, absolutely. I use that word quite a lot. But you can see I'm basically short shifting the whole way, not revving the engine out as much, and not revving the gears out as much. As we're getting close to Sainz, we're sticking with them. He's really dragging us out. I've been wondering whether I should be maybe increasing the difficulty even more, just to give us a bit more of a challenge. Maybe that's something we will do as we progress from each episode, as we get so close. Again, this chicane, this sequence of corners, as we get DRS as well out of the exit, absolute monstrous drive. No ERS either. Managed to just get alongside him with the DRS, sent it down the inside, and we go up to P1, lap 13, 2 more laps to go. Have to just manage it from here now. You can't make a mistake, Jace. Absolutely cannot make a mistake, because it's not over. Sainz is really up our chuff at that second last corner. As we drag ourselves up the main straight, you can see in the rearview mirror, Sainz is really just slowly reeling us in. I'm pretty sure he has DRS. As we tiptoe around turn 1, this is the penultimate lap. Again, just short shifting the entire way, trying not to rev the each gear out as much as we usually would. Especially in multiplayer games, you don't care about engine wear, gearbox wear. You just bang each gear. You'll drag them out as much as you can off the rev limiter, and yeah, it's absolutely excited now. I cannot believe we got so close. As yellow flag, we passed Hamilton. I'm pretty sure there was a message earlier, but Hamilton was out of this race as well. He retired. Not sure what happened there, whether it was an accident of sorts, but either way, no safety car, which is good. As we fast forward, and there you go. I made an absolute unbelievable mistake. I was in front, and somehow I missed my braking point until the very last moment, and yeah, locked it up, went off. Verstappen and Sainz take advantage of that, say thank you very much, JZ, we'll take our positions back, thank you very much. And now I'm just fuming. I am just angry. This entire lap is just anger. I am chasing them down like crazy, trying to get really close to them to try and get those positions back, even though this is the very last lap, trying to use every bit of the track as possible. As you'll see in this particular exit of the corner, I just go straight off the track, you know, get ever so close, and I just send it down the inside on Verstappen, absolutely muscle our way as we have a middle purple sector as well, back up to P2, and we understeer off as well. Verstappen is still chasing us. There is a chance this could still go wrong, even though it's gone so wrong already, and it does as we get a boatload of wheel spin. And for a moment here, I paused and I thought, should I restart and do this race all over again? And then I thought, no, we probably shouldn't. As we cross the line, Verstappen manages to get past and we finish P3. I cannot believe we threw away a win, but at least we got driver of the day. So some consolation there, despite that mistake.
Superb Australian Grand Prix comes to an end then, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
I'm going to give it to the owner driver today. There was a lot going on all down the field, but they were the only one who I really felt maximised their potential.
Let's move on to the constructors. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
So yeah, results after the Australian Grand Prix. Not a bad day at the office overall. Could have been better. We were definitely on track for a P1, but in true JZ fashion, I whiffed it. Fourth in the Drivers' Championship at the moment, and I believe Constructors' Championship also in fourth as well. So bagging some well-needed points, but we're definitely still, there's a large deficit between us and the top two teams, that being Red Bull and Ferrari. In particular, Red Bull just storming ahead, 120 points, or 110 points rather, in the Constructors' Championship. That's our finishing order right there. And yeah, I cannot believe we threw away a win, but that's pretty much it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And yeah, if you like this sort of content, please do hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, please do consider subscribing. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.